Liverpool have completed the signing of MILOS Kerkez from Bournemouth. Finally, we have the announcement. We thought it would be yesterday, as we thought David Ornstein, Fabrizio Romano. Everyone was saying yesterday was the day. There was some sort of delay with visas or paperwork or some sort of technical bits and bobs, I believe was the phrase being thrown around by Ornstein. But we do finally have the announcement. As you can see the picture there, MILOS Kerkez is a Liverpool player. Let's jump straight into some of the quotes. So we're on the official club website here. The club have said, the left back has undergone a medical and agreed a long-term contract with the Premier League champions. I'll just repeat that for you now. Premier League champions, never gets old hearing that. At the AXA Training Centre. Kerkez becomes the Reds' newest addition of the summer and swiftly follows the announcement of Florian Wirtz's arrival last Friday. Speaking to LiverpoolFC.com in an exclusive first interview, well, you'd kind of expect to give his first interview to the club in fairness, the Hungary international said, I'm really happy. It's a real honour for me, a privilege to come and play for one of the biggest clubs in the world, the biggest club in England. I'm just really, really happy and excited. Which you love to hear from a player like Kerkez, like a player of his quality coming to the club. Obviously buzzing. You've seen him talking about this non-stop for the last 6 months. Like everyone has known he's coming to the Reds. His father basically announced the deal a few weeks back as well. That's what we want. We want that enthusiasm, that just fighting spirit. He's going to be unreal. Like he's like what, 21 too, and he's already this good. He's already going to displace Andy Robertson. It's just exciting times. What a signing. Like I know Florian Wirtz coming in is the big one, but do not let this go under the radar for how good a signing it is. He was without doubt the best left back in the Premier League last season. Like I said, still very young, coming into this already brilliant team. I cannot wait to see him in action. He went on to say, after this I'll go home and in my hometown enjoy a few days, and then I can't really wait to come back and put the training kit on and start to train and prepare for the season. Just looking on the club's Twitter page here, or X as it's now called of course, some of the photos of the player, there we go, him sitting on the bench, second seat in, Wirtz was on the first one of course. We scroll down, him with the glasses on, his class, first interviews. Look at that. Like I know it's a shame it's not the Adidas shirt, but still, that's just beautiful to see. There he signed the contract, of course. The teaser, by the way, yeah, they had the drill out. That's fantastic. Like obviously referenced this picture with Szoboszlai a couple of years ago. It's just brilliant from the club again. We do have some more quotes from Milos here. He went on to say about Arne Slot. He said, he and Slot, talked about the tactics and the plan and where he sees where I can improve and where I can help the team. Obviously, when the coach comes also and talks to you, it's a big thing. It's a big sign of respect. And we've already seen that in this transfer window. Like we've seen many journalists and people just commending the business of the club this summer with Arne Slot, Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards. Particularly Richard Hughes has been getting a lot of praise for how he's handling himself. Arne Slot, of course, was the mastermind behind convincing Wirtz to come to the club. We've seen reports that Wirtz had talked to other clubs, including Bayern Munich, and just wasn't convinced by the outlay, the tactical plans, the future planning. The club has got its stuff together right on this. It's definitely the most stable project any of these players can come to. It's an exciting project. We've seen reports the last few days as well that Liverpool want to build a team to dominate Europe for the next 5 to 6 years. And they certainly seem to be going about it the right way. Milos, of course, here saying about Slot, he's impressed with him. How could you not be? Continuing on then, Milos said, as everyone knows, Richard Hughes brought me to Bournemouth and was a big part of why I came to Liverpool. Obviously also important is the gaffer. I also had talks with him. I really knew when I talked to him and Richard that this is it for me. And again, going back to what I said a second ago, like the club just has their shit together on this. They have a clear plan outlaid. They're showing the players where they can fit in. They're just selling the dream to everyone, as us fans and the players alike. Another quote here, Milos went on to say, just want to thank everyone for really showing me big love, even before it will be announced officially. And keep supporting the team like you support always, because you're the biggest fan base in the world. Look at that. We love that. Biggest fan base in the world. Like Milos knows how big a club this is. Again, he's been talking about this for months. He's been liking every tweet, every Instagram post, everything possible showing that he was coming to Liverpool. It's just, the excitement is infectious really, isn't it? Like this is exactly what you want to see and hear from a player. So what next for Liverpool now in the transfer window? Like we've seen Milos Kerkez come in today. We've Jeremy Frimpong, Florian Wirtz, Georgi Mamardashvili's coming in from last season. And then we have countless rumours of outgoings. We have links to Mark Gay. It's all kicking off. So we have Chris Bascom here with a report saying more might follow. Might being an interesting word there. However, after a period of activity with incomings, the next round of Anfield transfers will most likely be a reaction to any outgoings, with several clubs circling Liverpool's assets and decisions pending on their futures. We've heard the likes of Harvey Elliott obviously had a blinder of a game last night for England under 21s. He has a lot of interest from Premier League clubs and abroad. I think I think Bayer Leverkusen were interested at one point. Dortmund have been mentioned. Brighton, Fulham, West Ham. There are absolutely no shortage of suitors for Harvey Elliott. Darwin Núñez, of course, seems to be pushing for a move to Napoli. Whether that comes about or not, it depends if Napoli will stump up the money for him, really. I think the club are holding out for somewhere near the 60-70 million pound mark, which is probably optimistic in fairness, given what we spent on him a couple of years ago and how much he's just not really impressed in recent years. I think Napoli are offering somewhere in the 35 to 40 million euro range at the minute, so that'll be an interesting one. But this makes sense, like Chris Bascom said, like it will heavily depend on sales now. We have, of course, in Milos Kerkez's position, we have Andy Robertson, who is looking, I was going to say likely going to Atletico, but there has been some talk that maybe he is still making his mind up. I would have said last week it seemed like it was a given, but with Atletico not really willing to spend much money, I don't think the club are going to let him go for free, because obviously we would like to keep Andy Robertson, not even as a backup to Kerkez, but someone just to push him on and challenge him. Like it's never a bad thing to have two players in the position that are at that level. Like we already have that now with Wirtz and Szoboszlai, which of course is why Harvey Elliott might be leaving as well, because he just doesn't fit into this team. Like as good as a player as he is, where does he fit in with too many good players ahead of him? So we will of course see either Robertson or Tsimikas leave with Kerkez now coming in, because we don't need three left backs. Hopefully we keep on to Andy Robertson, but I won't be too sad if we have to keep Tsimikas instead, because I think he's more than good to be a backup, and he's been speaking recently as well about the possibility of moving, and he was just like, he basically said, do I want to play week in, week out for a lower team, or do I want to play 20 or 30 games at this level for Liverpool? And that is important in the squad as well. You do want players who are willing to kind of not sit back, but who won't be kicking up a fuss if they're not playing every week. They understand their role in the squad. Like we've seen that with Endo recently as well, basically saying he's not leaving, even though his game time will be limited to probably Carabao Cup games and closing outs of Premier League games, and probably not going to play in the Champions League. But it is important to have those people in the squad that will just happily be part of the squad, know they're part of a bigger thing and it's not about them. So again, I would be happy to keep Tsimikas as well. Some last quotes from Milos then to finish up the video. He said, I started to watch when I was 13, 14, and to be really into Liverpool. I remember a lot of legends. I watched a lot of clips about John Arne Riise and Andy Robertson. Also, I love a lot. Nice of him there to pay respect to Andy Robertson as well. Of course, he would have looked up to him over the years while he was coming up through the youth ranks. I watched a lot of games with him. It's a real privilege to be here. He also said, I would say in May, already coming close to the end of the season, that it's starting to get more serious, and finally I am here. Like we said, he's been going on about this for weeks, if not months. You can't have much peace because it's Liverpool and you want to be a Liverpool player. I think it should be every kid's dream. And of course, like, I'm sure most of you watching this are Liverpool fans who would have dreamed growing up of playing for the Reds, and Milos obviously is no different to that. So it's just a really happy day to see him finally sign for the Reds. He's buzzing, I'm buzzing, I'm sure you're buzzing. Please let me know in the comments below what you think about the move. £40 million I think is a bargain in this market for a player this young and this just good already. Like I said, best left back in the Premier League last year by a mile. So really happy with this one. Please let me know. Please hit the subscribe button on the way out, and Craig will be back later on to talk about all of this. Thank you very much for watching.